Back to Neymar then. Stephen's with us here on set. A quick word on Neymar's imminent arrival in France.
France's budget minister has been talking about this on radio this morning. Gérald Darmanin says that he's delighted at the potential of the footballer moving to France because of the taxes that he'll pay. On that reported salary of 30 million euros, he said what was most important is that any taxes were due would be paid in France, and said the tax authorities would be paying very close attention to all the money around this deal.
Perhaps the rest of us will get a rebate.
Maybe, yeah.
It's possible.
Thanks, Neymar.
Now, another record finish on Wall Street.
That's right, the Dow Jones Industrial Average closed above 22,000 points for the first time in its 121-year history. Wednesday's rally was led by gains in Apple's share price, but US shares in general have been gaining steadily in recent months, boosted by the election of Donald Trump. Many investors are wondering, though, how long this winning streak will go on for. Lauren Berstecker has the story.
Reaching another milestone, the Dow Jones Industrial Average closed over the 22,000 mark on Wednesday. A new record that came a day after Apple revealed higher than expected profits and saw its shares go up by almost 5%.
We knew it was going to break it. Really, on Monday we could sense it, and yesterday we saw the futures trading up. It was all about Apple. Once Apple came out with those great earnings, that was it. We knew it would be over the top today, and sure enough, it opened above 22,000.
Yet Apple's good fortunes were only part of the story. It was the 32nd record of the year for Dow Jones, which has climbed steadily since the election of Donald Trump in November 2016. With a weak US dollar and lukewarm domestic growth, experts say the rally was largely powered by earnings from multinational firms with a strong overseas presence, such as McDonald's and Boeing. Shares for the airplane giants went up by 53% this year. And while some acknowledge there might be a Trump effect, many say the recent trend is a sign that the global economy is picking up.
The rest of the world is actually holding up pretty well. Who would have thought we would see pockets of strength in Europe and China, which many had thought would be winding down or slowing down, seems to be holding up okay. So I don't think it's just about the White House. I think it really is more about the fundamentals of businesses globally.
Yet many Americans are unlikely to benefit from this trend. According to the Federal Reserve, nearly half of the country's population has no money invested in the stock market.
Well, let's take a look at how that record on Wall Street is feeding into trading today. We've got investors cashing in on some of the recent gains. So European markets generally opening in the red. The exception there being the FTSE MIB in Milan. That's down to the Italian lender UniCredit, opening up by 4% after reporting better than expected results. The bank has been undergoing a painful restructuring involving thousands of job cuts, but their latest results showing a turnaround. Not such a great picture, though, on London, Paris and Frankfurt, which are all showing falls. Over in Asia, again, falls across all the main markets. In South Korea, technology shares are leading the falls there. Samsung Electronics, which is a heavyweight on the Kospi index, was down over 2% a short time ago. There's also been some reaction on shares to a new tax plan announced by President Moon Jae-in. Some more of the business headlines for you next. Shares in Tesla, the electric car maker, soared by almost 8% after hours on Wall Street. That's after CEO Elon Musk told investors the company would be able to meet its ambitious production target of 10,000 Model 3 cars a week. Revenues at Tesla more than doubled in the 3 months from April to June to $2.8 billion. Net losses rose as well, though, to over $330 million, but that was lower than had been expected. BMW sold a record of more than 1.2 million cars in the first half of the year, thanks to increased demand from China. That boosted pre-tax profits by 9% to over €3 billion. The boss of BMW has warned, though, the rest of the year may be a different picture because the car maker is planning to spend more on technology and other projects. And staff at the Financial Times newspaper have called on management to close the gender pay gap at the company by 2020. The National Union of Journalists said that workers were prepared to go on strike over the issue if it were necessary. FT journalists have called for pay averages across the paper to be published, along with details of bonuses.
Now, this last story, Stephen tried to explain it to me an hour ago. I half got it, so can you do it again? I might understand it by the end.
This is to do with chatbots, which are automated messaging services that you can find on things like Facebook Messenger or on Weibo in Asia as well. And the idea is you send a message and essentially a robot responds. It's artificial intelligence that responds to you. But there were 2 of these chatbot services in China that have been pulled from use because they went a bit rogue. Tencent's BabyQ and Microsoft's Xiaobing had to be taken offline after going off message. For example, when asked, "Do you love the Communist Party?" BabyQ answered no. Screen grabs posted online, so Xiaobing saying things like, "My China dream is to go to America." Experts say this rogue behaviour is actually learned by the technology from other internet users. Now, Tencent, which operates China's largest social media platform, says it's adjusting the services and that they'll be back online after some improvements.
Got it. Understand it. Stephen Carroll with Business. Thank you very much.